This is a political cartoon that came out at the beginning of FDR's presidency. You can see that FDR is serving as the doctor for the patient, who is Uncle Sam, and Congress is his subservient nurse there, supplying him with whatever he needs. You can see his doctor's bag with New Deal remedies, and on the table next to Uncle Sam you see names of all the remedies, the New Deal programs that were designed to help people suffering during the Depression. And Roosevelt is saying, of course, we may have to change these remedies if we don't get results, as you will see he does need to do. Roosevelt's first problem that he addresses is the stock market crash. This is caused, as you know, by people buying on margin, by insider trading, and by the overvaluing of stock. His solution for this is the Federal Securities Act and the creation of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is set up to enforce new government regulations of the stock market. Of course, this is in the 3 R's, reform. The second problem he addresses are runs on the bank, and this is due to a lack of consumer confidence in the banking system. His solution is the Emergency Banking Relief Act and a bank holiday. The bank holiday gives people time to settle down, and of course the Emergency Banking Relief Act is relief in the 3 R's. He also creates the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. This too is reform, and it's designed to protect people's investments that they put in the bank. The next problem he addresses is the fact that people can't afford housing, and we are seeing the rising of Hoovervilles. These are shanty towns put up by people who've been evicted or can no longer afford their housing. As the cost of living goes up, people are no longer able to afford their mortgages, and unemployment rises. FDR's solution for this is the FHA, the Federal Housing Administration. This helps people to buy, build, and refinance with government-insured loans. This is both relief and recovery in the 3 R's. The next problem that FDR addresses is the Dust Bowl. We know that droughts in the Midwest caused storms, covered the area in dust, and ruined crops. People, of course, were forced to flee the area. His solution for this was the Farm Security Administration. This provided camps for Dust Bowl refugees. And of course, in the 3 R's, it provides relief. Another issue is overproduction. After World War I ended, farmers were still producing the same amount, and the same amount was not needed anymore because we weren't supplying the Allies overseas. So overproduction of farm goods led to low prices, and some farmers protest by dumping crops, burning them for fuel. Roosevelt suggested the Agricultural Adjustment Act. This allowed farmers to receive subsidies in exchange for limiting their production. This was part of recovery. The next problem Roosevelt addressed was massive unemployment and extreme poverty. 1/3 of the population of America was unemployed, and families, of course, can't pay their rent. Thousands migrate in search of better living conditions, but many are hungry and some even starve. Roosevelt's solution for this is work programs. The WPA is the Works Progress Administration, and this puts people to work on various government projects. These are both manual labor projects and intellectual projects. The Federal Writers Project, which is part of this, even includes historians. Artists paint post office murals, and the Federal Theater Project puts actors to work. This is part of recovery. He also creates the Civilian Conservation Corps. And you can see the CCC workers putting up a fence in Green, New York. For this program, young people were given jobs doing conservation and recreation related projects. The Blue Ridge Parkway was built by the CCC. This too is part of recovery. Another problem is underdevelopment of the South. The South has never really made a full comeback from the Civil War. And of course, they don't have the industrial development that the North has. As a result, the South has particularly high unemployment. In the area of the Tennessee Valley, FDR creates the Tennessee Valley Authority, the TVA. The TVA builds dams to provide electricity to the rural South. So he's accomplishing several things here. He's creating jobs in construction and operation. He's also providing electricity to rural people who don't have it. This is part of recovery. The next problem is factory closings, which cause unemployment. FDR provides the National Industrial Recovery Act, the NRA. This requires industries to create codes regulating wages, hours, working conditions, and prices. It's designed to promote recovery by ending wage and price deflation. This too is part of recovery. The next problem is labor disputes. We know that after World War I, there was an inordinate number of strikes. So FDR creates the National Labor Relations Act, or the Wagner Act. And this guarantees workers the right to bargain collectively and form unions without fear of punishment from management. This is part of reform. Among those hardest hit by poverty are the elderly and disabled. So FDR's solution for this is the Social Security Act. This provides pensions for the elderly and aid to the disabled, and it also encourages states to provide matching benefits. This is part of relief. In the next video, we'll talk about the people who opposed FDR's New Deal.